And every good presentation has those elements, and a great presentation has that in-depth personalisation that goes with it.
Hello, I've got Tony Bonanno with me again. Welcome back, Tony.
Always delighted, John.
Tony, I know you've got a lot of expertise around how to do presentations, particularly sales presentations, and I know a lot of salespeople really struggle when they're presenting to a decision group or decision maker, influencers, etc. As a group of people, a whole lot of different people in the room. Have you got advice on explaining what the real underlying issues, and doing a good presentation, and advice on how to give a better presentation?
Yeah, that's a great question, John. Let's look at it firstly from the one-on-one perspective. If I'm giving a presentation to you, I can develop a rapport with you, I can understand you, I can get some sense of your communication style and how you process information, and I can present to you in a manner that works.
And I'm not saying that's easy, but it's certainly easier than when you've got 5 people.
That's right.
With a dichotomy of views and opinions and so on.
Yeah. And the reality is, if you're presenting to a group, there is a very significant chance that people in that group receive and process information differently to other people that are in that audience. So if you follow the DISC model, and I call it the bull, peacock, lamb, owl model, because it's a bit easier to understand than DIS and C in most cases.
Right.
You've got bulls and peacocks and lambs and owls in the room. The bulls are interested in something that's quick and direct. The peacocks want all the visuals. The owls want the fine detail. And the lambs are interested in making sure that everybody's got what they need. And if you don't have some way of addressing everybody's need for receptivity, then you're going to find that you've probably singled out the key decision maker. You're presenting to that person alone,
right,
and the other people feel a little disenfranchised as a result.
I think it's a very good point. And one of the things I've seen some very good sales presentations done where, yes, they use the DISC model or whatever. It does mean you've got to do a lot of research ahead of time, and you've got to know your audience very well before you walk into that presentation.
Each
individual,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So obviously that's a recommendation. That work needs to be done. But I've often gone in. I've seen great sales guys, and you see them as they're going through the presentation, talking almost individually to every person in that room, and that's what you're talking about.
I'm saying we need to take it even further. You need to name people in the room and have different behaviours that you display. So, for example, you have something up on your presentation screen that is about outcome and result factors, and you know that there is a bull in the room who is switched on to outcome and result. Right. And I would turn to that person and I'd say, well, Mark, can we see how this is going to get the ROI that you're looking at? And Mark now has his attention focused at that moment on the part that is related to him.
So you don't just look at Mark, you actually name him.
Engaged. Fully engaged.
Fully engaged, okay.
And over there I've got an appendix which has got all the fine detail on it, and Mary, who's the owl in the room, is going to be interested in the fine detail, but mindful of the fact that not many other people in the room want to spend another half an hour.
So you'll turn to Mary somewhere through the presentation and say, look, we've got the manual of all the detail here, which I'd like you to take away after the meeting.
I'd actually walk over to Mary with that appendix and say, and here's an appendix which you can disseminate and share with the rest of the group as you see fit.
Okay.
And now that person feels fully engaged in the presentation. And when the colourful charts are on there, I'm talking to Peter, who's the peacock in the room, and so on.
And you're going to show the peacock in the room how that they can look better and be...
Precisely.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's about going the extra mile, but really thinking about what that extra mile means to those people and choosing words and actions that support that presentation.
Great advice. I'm just sitting here thinking a lot of salespeople are saying, well, that's going to take an enormous amount of preparation. But we've had previous discussions about, for example, discovery and the importance of discovery. If you haven't done that preparation, if you haven't done that discovery, which means understanding all the individuals, then don't even try and do the presentation.
Precisely. Discovery isn't just about finding the facts that the customer wants to reveal. That are part of the sales process. It's about fully understanding that business as if you were sitting in the chair yourself.
Okay, and of course lots of other things that you need to include in the presentation, and one of the things I would say is the presentation is all about them, not us. It's not about our product and our company, it's all about them and what's of value to them and what's going to change their business for the better, or individually what's going to change them for the better.
And every good presentation has those elements, and a great presentation has that in-depth personalisation that goes with it.
I'm talking to every single individual in the room and hitting their hot buttons, making sure I'm engaged with them specifically.
Precisely.
Great advice. Love it. Look forward to the next time we talk, Tony.
Thanks again, John.